Should Carrick become the permanent Man United manager? Now, I'm going to give some caveats here. Let's say until the end of the season. Gets you top 4, Carrick. Liquid football.
Gets you top 4.
Gets you top 4. Liquid football.
Champions League.
And it's not football that you're like, oh, this is boring. He gets you liquid football. However, World Cup finishes. Nagelsmann and Tuchel says, you know what? I've had my time. It was fun, World Cup. I want to get back into club management.
Luis Enrique wins one more Champions League, goes, yo, it's time for me to move on. I need a new project.
Yeah. Where are you going, Lee, man? Are you sticking with Michael Carrick?
Pep shouts Omar Barada and says, yo, what's going on in Manchester? I don't want to leave Manny. I don't want to leave Manny yet.
I want to run Manny. I want to dominate Manny.
Listen.
Ferguson comes back. Says, yo,
he's still there. He's come back. He's there every week. He's there every week.
He's there every week.
My brain. So what are you saying?
For me personally, I'll start off by saying that I do want Carrick to do well, of course.
Well, no, obviously.
PR.
Managing your club, bro.
PR Lee, man, is jarring, man.
I want him to do well.
Yeah.
But me personally, nah, I wouldn't. If it was in my hands, I wouldn't keep him. Regardless of how well he does, I wouldn't do it. Because we've been in this situation before with Oli. So remember that Oli, when he came in as an interim manager? Not necessarily PTSD, but we've been in this situation where, you know, sometimes we let the short-term success get the better of us. Clouds our judgment, and then, you know, we don't get in what we actually need.
But do you not think that's what United are missing? Someone that knows the identity, someone that knows the club, someone that has a style of football that maybe Carrick can implement.
No, not really. You need a top coach. I look at Hansi Flick at Barcelona, bro. A German. You know, somebody that's come to... It's true though. A German, bro. A German that's come to manage FC Barcelona. Like, it just looks off, right? If you talk about DNA and you talk about identity, Hansi Flick, in an outside looking in, you would think it wouldn't be a good match, right? He's come in there and look how he's got that team performing. Why? Because he's a top coach. He's shown that he's a top coach. Whether it was for Bayern Munich, even the national team, he didn't do too well, but club football, he's shown his capabilities, right? I think Man United, what they're lacking is somebody that could come in and actually, a top coach that can actually come and transform the club on the pitch. And I think we tried it obviously with Ruben, and we thought he might be the guy, but you could see that he was inexperienced. In the Premier League, it's a different ball game, and obviously we quickly found out that, you know, he wasn't equipped. You know, he was out of his depth. We need a manager that has pedigree, but it's also adaptive and also has a good, effective idea of playing football. You know,
is that what Mourinho wasn't for you?
Mourinho wasn't that. No, Mourinho's always been Mourinho, pragmatic, you know, conservative, and you know,
but a winner
expects his star players to then, you know, turn up on the other side of the pitch. That's not the Manchester United way. And obviously, Mourinho is somebody that can bring you success, but it comes at a cost.
Yes,
it comes at a cost, right?
In terms of the football and stuff.
In terms of the football, Oli is probably the best time we've played football. But
that became fruitless.
It became fruitless because he had for me, he had a tactical ceiling. I think there was a ceiling tactically, and you saw it in the big games. You saw it in like the semi-finals and the finals. So for me, I feel like we need a coach that is one, adaptive, but also, you know, can get the team to involve and go through different stages. You know, whether it's, you know, like Arteta's kind of done with Arsenal. You want to see the team constantly improving, constantly evolving, and constantly adapting. So if we're playing against this team, you know, in this circumstance, this is how we're gonna play. If we're playing at home, you know, and we need to be on the front foot, this is how we're gonna play. There are top managers that you can see that will do that, like Luis Enrique at PSG, for example. Like, we need that caliber of coach to not only just for the short term, but also for the long term as well. And I feel like, yes, Carrick can come in and do one and gets to top four. Top four for me is an expectation at this point, because I look at the squad, I look at the investment we made. I look at the round of I expect this team to be at least come end of the season in the picture for top four. So that the bar is so low that Carrick, for me, he just needs to get the morale up. He just needs to get the basics going. And I think he can achieve that. But I don't think for long term, I would let that, you know, decide the future, or, you know, decide who we appoint in the summer. So for me, it's a straight no.
What are you guys saying? You guys think would you hear where he's coming from?
But you can have him though, I suppose.
I'll take him all day, I suppose. But in all honesty, I think if he gets you top four, lifts the morale, why not keep him on?
But
I feel like the higher ups as well at Man United it'll be hard for them to say no.
I think it would be. You look at it, former player, someone who understands what the club is about, someone who you lot always talk about.
I've seen it all before.
That's what draws you in. No, but I get that.
Yeah.
But I think with this one, because Carrick tactically, he's got it on point as well. I think tactically he's actually very good.
One game though.
One game, but I think even at Middlesbrough, he showed flashes of what he can do there. I think this could be a similar case of what Arsenal have with Arteta, potentially, in my opinion. I actually think this could be a long-term manager that you actually build around, who understands and respects where he is and understands what standards are, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But again, he will have to prove that from now till the end of the season. If he doesn't, and this was just a flash in the pan against United, then you go out and get someone more experienced. But I think if he shows enough capabilities, you're cutting your nose to spite your face because you've got PTSD from previous managers. When in actual fact, it could be a good thing in terms of the long term. Because if he builds, he wants to play positive football. He wants to play attacking football. He wants to play youngsters. That's what you need.
He knows what the club's about. Yeah.
He wants to bring back the United DNA.
He was there when you guys were winning those trophies and everything. So someone who's been there in the eye of the storm, I think you need that. And I think with Ollie, it was like, okay, it feels good, and he got us the winner in '99, but I don't know. There's something about me. I don't look at Ollie as like the guy, even when
I think he was
playing.
a great man manager.
Yeah.
But I think for him, tactically, he was always kind of not there.
And you guys always go for those kind of like managers with pedigree, should we say.
Yeah.
And those have burnt you so many times.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you turn away from this Carrick thing now and it's going well, and you try and go and get a Nagelsmann, a Tuchel, doing the typical United thing, trying to go for a name brand, that's where you're really going to get burnt, in my opinion.
No, I think there's pros and cons to both. That's the thing here. There's pros and cons. And like you said, we've tried it all. We've tried the experienced manager. We've tried the project manager. We tried, everything. You go from David Moyes to Louis van Gaal to Jose Mourinho. There's managers there that got credentials. We've done the full circle, bro. We've even had, obviously, Ole, an ex-player. There's nothing that we haven't tried at this club.
Yeah.
For me, I just feel like where this club is at, and we are currently at the lowest point I've ever experienced at this club, on the pitch, off the pitch, wherever it is. I just feel like somebody needs to come in there, and the first and foremost is transform us on the pitch.
Yeah.
And I'm not to say that Carrick can't do that in the 6 months that he's here, but I just feel like we need someone that's got the credentials, like right now. I'm not talking about Louis van Gaal 15 years ago. I'm talking about someone right now.
Here's where I disagree, because I think Arteta, for example, when he took over, that was his first managerial job at Arsenal, and I hate using him as an example, but it's the best example.
Yeah.
He didn't flesh out the Arteta vision within those first 6 months.
Yeah.
But he showed just enough glimpses and sprinkles of, you lot give me the right players, I might be able to build something here.
Yeah.
The next 2 seasons were arguably some of the best football you lot played.
Yeah.
Then he got his fingers burnt with the titles and went, you know what, I'm going pragmatic. But that's someone who they're evolving with.
But you give anyone 6 years.
And I feel like you lot, of course, you give anyone 6 years. But my thing, what I'm saying is, if he shows you those flashes that he can manage a squad, he can tactically adapt to certain games, substitutions, he gets those right, I'd give him another year. At least, no, I'm not even saying give him a 3-year contract. Give him a 2 year. 1+1.
18
in the summer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that way, there's not really much risk as well if you want to get rid of him.
Look, I wouldn't be
whatever.
against it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you was to ask me, because I feel like I've been here before, I've seen
Is
this
it
before.
potentially burning another season that you don't want to happen again?
Yes, and I just want. I want someone to come in and I'm immediately like, yes, I am confident. I know this is going to be. Yeah.
It's the quick fix.
It's not necessarily quick fix, but I know.
All United fans want to get back to competing.
Yeah,
And they want to do that as quickly
They
as
want to win the
possible.
title.
And I'm like, bro, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
And
You're
how
gonna have
poisonous
to-
their club is as well. It's not
Yeah,
gonna happen.
but you're gonna have to go through a period where you're
become a
just
poison
I accept
we're
that.
grinding it out.
And
We're building. We're building.
And
We're
we might
building.
still do that with Carrick. Like for example, look, and it kind of happened with Oli as well, where the first 6 months, there's a new manager bounce. There's, the morale's good. There's a good feeling factor back at the club. And then we go on, obviously, a little period where results are great, everything's great. Then, like Oli, we sign him permanently. Then things start to deteriorate. Then now, all of a sudden, the whole, problems in the back and the dressing room start to creep back in again. Now the player power starts shifting again. Then we're going through that cycle again. I just want somebody that's going to come in and it's going to get a hold of the club and be like, listen.
So if you could give me one name then.
One name
for someone.
If depending on who's so if I had to do the premium, and I'm saying somebody that's gonna come in and I know can get the job done and is also adaptive. That's what I want a manager that's adaptive, not sticking to just one way of playing and has different ways of playing. And Luis Enrique, PSG for me. I think Luis Enrique would be that. I think in terms of why is this guy laughing
There's a chuckle in the back.
Why are you laughing
Yeah,
in the back?
struck in the back.
Why is he laughing in the back?
That's my job, man.
Why is he laughing?
You don't steal my job.
You think Luis Enrique becomes available, he looks at Man United?
No, but I'm saying, you asked me. I'm not saying that's. I'm saying that's the
I'm only joking.
Me, realistically,
chain.
I would go for Oliver Glasner. And a lot of people might not agree with that, but I'll go for him because...
What's happening right now with the board and him, though? Do you not think that gives a red flag for you?
That could happen.
No, but the thing is that, but he has every right to feel like that because he's right in saying that, you're killing my squad, you're not replacing my squad. You
can believe.
You know,
we won the FA Cup and you ripped my squad apart.
And not only that, he's built the club to be, not competitive enough where they've won a FA Cup the first time in their history. They won a Community Shield. They're in Europe. For the first time in God knows how many years. He put them in a good place, and all the board, it seems like what the board are doing is just ripping the whole house apart. So of course he's gonna feel frustrated. It's like, I'm trying to build something here and you're just tearing it down. So why am I gonna stay?
Why is Iriola's name not being floated around as much?
So with me, the reason I said
he's another one, his team got ripped apart.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like he's kind of like a few months ago, United fans would be like, I will love him after Amarim, but now his name's kind of gone to one side.
I feel like Iriola, the thing about him, and the reason why I prefer Glasner over him is I've seen Glasner play with a back four. I've seen him play with a back three. I've seen him become adaptive. I've seen him go head to head and tactically outclass Klopp, Pep, Ancelotti, Arteta. Like, I've seen him go head to head with these guys and tactically outclass them. Do you know what I mean? Glasner.
Yeah.
So Iriola, yes, he plays expansive football. His football is amazing, transitional. He actually suits the United way
DNA,
more.
the transitional,
he does.
Press,
but I've also seen his Bournemouth team play against low block and absolutely struggle. And he doesn't really change much. He's not really as adaptive. They struggle.
Do you think it's another Thomas Frank situation where going to a big club that's
and that's my fear. Yeah. That's my fear. Whereas Glasner, I just feel like his whole career, he's taken the right. He's had the right trajectory. He had Frankfurt, won the Europa League, come to the Premier League. He's got the Premier League experience, got them their first cup, and then went and got the Community Shield over Liverpool. I think he's just shown the right trajectory, and I think he's actually ready for that next step.
That's fair.
Do you know what I mean? So, and the fact that he's ballsy enough to come out and say, yo, I'm cutting, number one. And number two, you lot upstairs need to pattern up. I like managers that come out and just say it how it is. Do you know what I mean? Rather than try to protect.
Amarim did it.
It's a German
thing. Amarim did it.
Amarim did it with nothing to show for it. Amarim did it, and brother, you're complaining about the ball not backing you, but you haven't given anything for the ball to back you with. You know what I mean? It's not making sense. Glasner can stand 10 toes and be like, yo, I gave you the best success you've had in like the last 100 years. You better pattern up and respect me. That's a different type of confidence. So for me, he's already shown that he's not scared to speak his mind, and we need a manager like that. So for me, I'll take Glasner.
So for you, obviously first choice Enrique.
That's the dream. That's the dream.
But it's Glasner.
That's why they're called dreams. That's why they're called dreams.
Yeah.
One name.
Stay to dreams.
Yeah.
You got one name?
For them, I would say in the summer it probably looks like Nagelsmann, Tuchel become available. You've got Glasner in
If
the
you had
works.
to pick one of those ones.
If I had to pick one, I'd probably go Nagelsmann. I think Tuchel he reminds me of, not what reminds, he's shown that he only likes to stay for like 2 years. And United need someone that's going to stay longer and build something.
Yeah.
I think Glasner's a good one, but is he going to go there and try to play three at the back? Or is he an adaptive manager where he's going to say, I'm going to stick to four, we're going to play 4-3-3? Maybe. But I'll probably say Nagelsmann.
Okay, and you?
I'm going a bit obscure here.
Don't say Thomas Frank.
I'm going to go Gareth Southgate. I think
because they've got Steve Holland in there.
Already
Steve Holland!
Just and notice how Steve Holland got brought in first.
Yeah. He's sussing out. He's doing a recce. He's doing a recce.
Where if they don't believe in Carrick,
you're
gonna have to suffer Southgate. You want something long term? We can give you long term.
He's in the change room putting up the
bro.
Do you know what scary part is it? Well, you're not far from the truth.
I'm telling you.
He's not far from the truth.
You know it's true. He's there doing a little CRB.
This is not a prediction. It's a spoiler.
He's there doing a little CRB on the club. He's probably telling him, yo, they've got a nice cafe. Let me see. Oh, the coffee's nice here, you know.
Oh, the cafe needs got back.
Yeah, you see? That's what he's doing. Oh, there's a new thing working here now. That's what he's telling me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And Steve Holland and Southgate saying, what? Swear. I'm there summer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hear it.
And then Steve Holland's probably in Carrick's ear saying, yo, you only got 6 months, you know? You know them ones he's giving them. You only got 6 months. That's calls.
Yeah, what you doing, bro?
What's your potential here?
Just have fun. Just have fun, bro. Experiment for your new club. And then Steve Holland's there in the background.
I would absolutely lose my mind.
I would make my day. Because you know how much I hate him as well. Because you know Ratcliffe wants him as well. He's been chasing him. And Southgate's ready. What is he? He's got MBE now as well.
He's got MBE.
So he's going to be Sir Gareth. Sir Alex is like...
Oh, Gareth Southgate, welcome to Manchester.
And that first presser, Circa F Southgate, how is it to be Manchester United manager?
Oh my god! Like, you know the way I hated him. You don't know. You was I know how much I hate Gareth Southgate, bro.
Please.
Wallahi, that was
permanent.
Wow.
I can't lie to you. The day that happens, I'm a Queen's Park Rangers.
No, the way I'm gonna watch,
I'm
I'm
trying to
tune into
right.
Liban LDN's YouTube, Liz Buzini's
Yeah.
YouTube. No,
We will be
but
there.
we'll go to those two YouTubes. Kadani's YouTube.
Because I'll get carried.
Yeah.